Welcome to the Genesis Part 1 review. And my question to you, are you guys ready for the hashtag Reign of Magnus? Because from the opener, we hear the long story of Magnus being champion and how great he is, how he puts over Dixie Carter. Dixie, I want to give you one of my World Heavyweight Champions because you're the champion of our hearts. Welcome to the Genesis of Dixie Carter. It was quite comical, but this just dragged on and on and on. The best part of the opener, I'm going to have to give it to Sting's promo. When he came down and just kept on talking on the mic, mentioning that the roof is going to come crumbling down on Dixie and her clan, the group of wrestlers who helped her last week to accomplish her master plan. And then we get this match, Team Dixie versus Team Sting, which, to be honest, none of us really saw coming, did we? But this match, there really weren't much to it. It was all a big beat down, going outside the ring, in the ring, and Samoa Joe gets the win on Christopher Daniels. It's just a shame that Christopher Daniels recently, yes, he's still the epic guy on the mic, but he's the one who's going to be gradually eating the win. There was me insulting Kazarian because he's still Christopher Daniels' puppet, but he did okay, I guess, just a little bit. But he wasn't the one to eat the pin, which I just had my thoughts saying, oh well, Kazarian's not really the main guy out of this group here. He'll eat the pin. And okay, it was an okay opener with good mic work from the individuals. It just went on too long. And with Genesis only being the 2-hour normal slot for an Impact, you really expect the opener to get straight to the point for the rest of the show. One of TNA's hottest knockouts, Velvet Sky, was starting to make a comeback this week. Started to put her foot down and show she's not to be messed with, and bringing back a stronger Velvet Sky character, as she got involved in the promo, the mic work, between Chris Sabin and Austin Aries as they set up the match for next week, Chris Sabin versus Austin Aries for the X Division Championship. And I enjoyed their mic work going back and forth. Yes, it more focused around Velvet Sky than the X Division Championship, which we all know for quite some time now. The X Division Championship has not felt like the important belt, the important part of the TNA speciality, which it was when I first started watching TNA, but times moved on and the World Championship is their number one priority, while the X Division is just a prop or just something to be given to wrestlers who should be on TV but need something to do. It's just starting to feel that way. But now this feud is not about the championship, it's about Velvet Sky and respecting her. Because next week, she's going to be in a cage while Chris Sabin and Austin Aries battle it out. Maybe it should just get given back to Austin Aries and kept on Austin Aries for a future opponent, who might just happen to be Zema Ion, as he won the X Division Championship briefcase. Almost halfway through the show, and we've only had one match, because most of the show had been building up the Dixie Carter storyline and the Sting and EC3 storyline. But before we get to the second match of the night, I've got a question for you guys. The Samuel Shaw character, do you think TNA have brought him in too quickly? Because yes, he had that relationship video thing with Chrissy Hem, but matches, feuds are being held back because TNA have other priorities right now. Or do you think he came in at the right time just so he's there to be used when needed? Because yes, he got a bit of involvement tonight, attacking someone backstage, just because they mentioned stuff about him and Chrissy Hem. But I expect people to come in, have a reason to come in, and continue work on. But Samuel Shaw hasn't really had that. The second match of the night was one that I was personally looking forward to. In one corner, my favourite heel in TNA and probably one of their best heels in TNA, Bully Ray. It's great to see him do what he does. And in the other corner, Mr. Anderson, Anderson. It finally feels like TNA have found a good suitable spot for him, giving him mic time, ring time, and actually finding a way to try to rebuild him up. I'm just hoping after this feud they have something else for him. The disappointing comes where, yes, there was weapon usage. Yes, there was the whole using the weapons to see who can get the pinfall. But when you tease something TNA, it's going to disappoint the fans if you don't give them what you've been teasing. The whole lighter effect. You have Buddy Ray bringing the lighter into the match, him not being able to use it, Mr. Anderson starting to use it to give Buddy Ray the win, distraction win. Are they waiting for another occasion to actually use the lighter to its full potential? Or is that it? I just felt slightly disappointed in TNA for teasing something and not finishing it off. The match itself, though, weapon usage, good. Quality of the match, not quite exciting enough for what I felt Buddy Ray could offer us. The Kurt Angle and Dixie segment of TNA was alright for the most part, even though Dixie was in yet another segment on TV. She was trying to keep Angle on her team, trying to protect him, and do what's best for business. Wait a minute, did I just hear myself say what's best for business? Now, where have we heard that saying? Try looking on WWE.com and seeing what you find out on there, because it's the same kind of role that Triple H, the authority figure on WWE, was giving us or is still giving us. So maybe they're trying to see who can do the best for business storyline the best. And Dixie Carter just got annoying, but I actually agree with her. Kurt Angle's character is starting to lose his mind, get really crazy. He's struggling to beat Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode keeps getting the best of him. Kurt Angle's trying to prove himself to go into the Hall of Fame, but there's always someone to knock him back down. I'm really glad that TNA have finally decided to change the Madison Rayne character. The things that disappoint me, though, is that she's kept her theme song and she's kept that annoying wave she does as she comes down to the ring. The surprise for this match, though, was they took the championship off Gail Kim and gave it to Madison Rayne. TNA had a huge opportunity to have Gail Kim, their top knockout, to put over a new knockout, which we all crave for. A new knockout, new feud, new match, new champion. TNA, bad move. But the one positive thing that came from this is, don't it feel good to finally beat your BFF? BFF. I hate internet slang. In the biggest match of EC3's career going up against Sting tonight on Genesis, he has a little prep talk, warm-up talk by the champion Magnus. You know, that is what the champion should be doing. Giving you a warm-up talk, saying don't disappoint your family, do the right thing, you could beat Sting and be as great as I am. Build up yourself to be a champion like me. But when it comes to the match, you know, the best way to screw around Sting and make EC3 somehow pick up another win over a legend is have the special guest referee not be Earl Hebner, the very aggressive referee. Give it to Rockstar Spud, one of the guys who came into TNA, didn't have much importance or much going for him, gets involved with the Dixie Carter family storyline, and then suddenly gets a lot of heel heat and involvement in big matches. Yes, he got in the way of Sting a few times to cause some heat there, but he gets replaced by the referee, the new referee to take over, which finished the match, Magnus. And at the end, EC3 picks up the win over Sting. So EC3 got his biggest win of his career. And instead of Sting wanting to get his revenge on EC3, his attention quickly gets put away from EC3 and onto Magnus. And this is where the end of the show really heats up. We get to hear the news that next week, after some more great mic work from Sting, he did turn a little bit camp when he went, "Oh, you little boy." Yeah, and that somehow all the build-up gives us the match. I don't know why TNA are jumping through hoops to make this match happen, because Sting was not meant to be going for the World Championship at any point in his career. Yes, it's meant to be a new World Heavyweight Championship, but the thing was, Sting cannot go after the World Heavyweight Championship, TNA's main championship. They've jumped through a hole to give Sting one more match with his career on the line, but with also the possibility of winning a championship he's not meant to win or allowed to win. TNA, please be careful on what you jump, what you miss to provide big matches or important matches or rating pushes in your company, please. Not saying it's going to be a bad match, which when it comes to Sting, him wrestling, it's not really a popular thing anymore, is it? Not as much as it used to be. But it's happening next week as the main event because Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle weren't a big enough match. No, you have to give it to Sting again. But that's what we're getting next week. The matches next week, though, are building up quite nicely. We have Storm and Gunner for the World Heavyweight Briefcase. Aries and Sabin for both the X Division and Velvet Sky. Kurt Angle vs Bobby Roode in the cage. Sting and Magnus for the World Heavyweight Championship and Sting's career. And also one of the big signings, the big surprises, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, two ongoing wrestlers feuds from ROH, have signed with TNA from a mystery investor. Who's going to be coming into TNA? Who's going to be feuding with Dixie Carter when he or she comes in? Maybe it's Vince McMahon. Maybe this is going to be the massive takeover and TNA's saving grace. Or maybe it's a way to bring back Hulk Hogan. I don't know what TNA are doing here. But is this going to be TNA's saving grace for their ratings? That's going to keep them going for another year? Is this going to be a way to keep Sting in TNA for another year? Before they come up with another way to possibly write him off. Okay, this Genesis show. I guess Dixie Carter being overused is not working. It's really putting my attention off. Magnus being the champion, I'm enjoying it. It's going well. Kurt Angle vs Bobby Roode, I like how they're doing this. I'm really interested in that. X Division, not really worth paying a hell lot of attention to anymore. Knockouts, if we got a new champion, great. It's good to happen. New champions are always exciting. But Madison Rayne over possible new challengers for Gail Kim, they've missed that opportunity. Screw you, TNA, for that move. Tag team. I don't know why I just said there, tag teams. And then we've got the matches lined up for next week. Not bad, but again, the finish was just a joke, you know. Ratings have been jumped through holes. Your show has jumped through holes to make things happen. Continuation of feuds and matches, nicely done. See, I'm going on as much as I can here to try and find the positives or make positives out of negatives. Maybe you guys could do it in the comment section below. And please tune in next week for Genesis Part 2.